Welcome, everybody. I am on Facebook right now, changing off making sure that we are all live and able to see everything. We have a special treat. I mean, at 7 to 8, we actually had one. I'm live on the thing. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to tag Monica and Miss Bertha on here. So give us a second. We are about to go straight into this conversation. I'm so excited. Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm back to back because earlier at 7 p.m., we had the CEO and visionary of I Am Integrity that was on from 7 to 8. And now at 8:30, we have two bosses. Boss. You know, we have Monica Williams, the CEO and the visionary of I Am That Monica. We have Miss Bertha, the CEO and the visionary of Agent of Change. When I tell you these sisters are powerful, it's an understatement. Monica, I remember the day I met Monica. It was on Facebook, y'all, on the social media in her inbox. The Spirit of God told me to connect with her. And I'm like, I don't do that. I don't go just inboxing people that I just literally, met. Not even, I just friended her. And the Spirit of God said, connect with her. And I said, okay. I sent her my information. I say, hey, I would love to feature you on my radio show. My radio show is featured in 172 countries on 12 top podcasts. And I was just, giving her my spiel. And she's like, huh? Are you real? I said, let me voice this. Hi, I am real. It's Melissa Lambert. And I also sent her my podcast so she could hear that the voice matches. Then she still was hesitant. So I said, let me video her, And I am so thankful that our path did cross, Monica. And because our path crossed, I'm able to meet Miss Bertha today. Because our path crossed, we were able to literally see you birth on Saturday. Because our path crossed, we were able to launch Sista DAR. And because of this, we are here today to celebrate what has happened. So these two wonderful ladies, they have their own business. Miss Bertha, she's from an industry that is necessary, an industry that is under talked about, an industry that we don't really in our community embrace: mental health. And when I heard this wonderful woman stood up and spoke from her heart at the I Am That Monica, I am more than good enough brunch, I said, hold up, wait a minute. I said, Monica, we got to get Miss Bertha on this call now because Miss Bertha got some stuff to say.
Monica, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we are about to explore some information. And before we get into it, I'm going to individualize this. I'm going to bring up straight Monica Williams to Monica on the stage. And I want to ask Monica, I'm going to solo you, Monica, because I want them to see you. They're going to hear my voice, but I want them to see you. Tell us about this I Am That Monica brand. Tell us about this past weekend. And I'm going to say, tell us about Sista DAR.
Oh, that's a lot.
A lot.
So as far as the I Am That Monica brand, I have been through a lot of challenges in my life, been through a lot of struggles, a lot of traumas, and there are a lot of Monicas out there. And when I share my story, when I share the things that I've been through and the things that I've gone through and the things that I struggle with today, I know that there's a Monica out there. It's just knowing which Monica are you, because there are many people that I can identify with and that they can identify with me. So that's why that brand I Am That Monica is so important and so pivotal and was birthed, because there are so many women out there who can resonate with the pain and the trauma and the things that I've gone through and experienced in life, because I am not the only one. There are some things that I've gone through that people, um, you know, they don't want to talk about. It's shameful. They don't want to share some of their stories and some of their traumas and their experiences. And so when I have a platform and I'm able to share who I am, pieces of me, all of me actually, with the world, it gives other women, strength to share and stand up and speak their truth as well. So I am that Monica is very pivotal for other women, because which Monica are you? Where do you find yourself in my story? So
Mm.
that's why that I am that Monica was birthed.
Ooh, ooh. And one thing that I loved about just your brand in itself, it has your name in it, but it also have the I am,
Mm,
and the power of that I am is personalizing it.
very,
And you said
very much
something,
so.
which one are you? You
Hmm.
know, and so I'm going to now engage you because you had this event on this past Saturday, and you also brought in Miss Bertha to really express and to talk about mental health and to open up and really engage us in a space to learn about our own issues, our own trauma, and it's okay to discuss it. It's
Hmm.
okay to look ourselves in the mirror. It's okay to say I'm grateful. And I know that we're going to talk with Miss Bertha because I love the way she pinpoints certain things. My problem, it's uncomfortable, but it's my life. And then she had an extra additive that we'll talk about with that as well. But
Hmm.
Monica, tell us, why did you decide to do a women's brunch and then you decide to name it I Am More Than Good Enough?
So the reason I titled it I Am More Than Good Enough is because we have to be more than our problems. We have to be more than the pain that we suffered. We have to be more than our trauma seeds that were planted in our lives. So we have to be more than our troubles, because if we are just good enough, then there's a possibility of the things that we have gone through or been through or going through, it's a possibility of those things swallowing us up. So we have to be more than, so that we can conquer it, so that we can overcome it. So that's why it was important to name it More Than. I am more than good enough. I'm not just good enough. Good enough is not enough. So it was important to say we are more than, because you have to see yourself better than the things that you've gone through, the things that you've been through, and all the troubles that you suffered through. You have to see yourself better than that.
Mm, mm. And I'm going to engage Miss Bertha because Miss Bertha, when you got that call from Monica and you heard the title, I Am More Than Good Enough, coming from your experience as a mental health therapist, coming from the experience of you owning the agent of change as your practice, when you hear that type of topic, what came to mind at that moment when she said, I am more than good enough is the title of this brunch?
I think what came to mind first is that this is something that we all strive to achieve, and so it's more than a goal. It's become a movement. I could see
Mm,
it becoming a movement because, as Monica said, there are a lot of Monicas. It's very interesting that we all can be in one space, but not in the same place of life, and we
mm,
have to travel our own journey. I appreciate the fact that there are different ones. Yet you can relate to what I'm going through, but my journey of healing is an individual one.
mm,
And so, although you need the support that you need, the appropriate support that you need, what I think what Monica did was she made it okay to identify what the problem is, even though it's
Mm,
uncomfortable. You
mm,
know, first you got to actually say, this is what's making me uncomfortable, or I am uncomfortable and I don't know
mm,
what it is. You
mm,
identify it, you challenge it, you cope with it, and then you navigate life through it. That's how you get to I am more than good enough. And it is an individual thing. You have to learn what works for you best, and that is important. I cannot tell you that you're more than good enough if you don't believe that and you don't know how to get to it. So, that's pretty much what I would teach, getting to know the individual, because again, it's our individual journey. But the concept, the movement of not just I am more than good enough, but Sister DAR. I mean, when I left the conference, I saw people taking pictures of themselves and video recording themselves saying, hey, Sister DAR. That is a movement. Monica, don't choke me if I get it wrong. Detach, attach, and realign.
Yes,
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 that part.
yes.
That
Go
part.
carry for a long ways. You know how we need words of inspiration around us when we don't think we can do it? Sister DAR, Now you still need to know how to detach from it. That's to learn how to do it. But then you to attach, you got to learn what to attach to and how to do it. And then when you realign and you reset and you're on solid ground, that's how you get to I am more than good enough. You got to
Drop.
You
Drop
gotta
the mic.
You gotta
what, Miss Bertha is, she all up in the Kool-Aid. Miss Bertha just stirring it all up. Come on, stir it up, Miss Bertha.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
Miss Bertha just stirred up the Sister DAR. Come on. So
She did.
we need to know, because I mean, ooh, you know what? I didn't know we was gonna go this close. We listen. Even Juanika said, hey, Sister DAR. Come on, Juanika. Hey, Sister DAR. I didn't know we was gonna go in yet, but let's go in. Let's bring it in, Monica. Miss Bertha gave us something. She opened up and shared about I am Sister DAR. Tell us what made you really come to say, I'm going to name this Sister DAR, and I'm going to give the acronym detach, attach, and realign.
So the thing about me coming to terms with anything that I speak on, especially when it's dealing with change or healing or moving us as women forward, I have to sit to myself. I have to be alone, and I have to be in a space where I can receive and where I can hear. And while I was to myself one night, things come to me throughout the day. Things come to me in the middle of the night. I get up in the middle of the night. As soon as I hear something, if something is on my heart, I jot it down. I write it down just so I won't forget what is being spoken to me or what I'm hearing in the spirit realm, in my heart, right? And I knew that I wanted something impactful and something powerful and something that was going to go beyond that moment. Because a lot of times we go into conferences or any type of women's group or women's ministry, and we are, we get it in that space, but then we leave the same way we walked in, or we go home and we forget what was the message, what did they talk about, what did they say, and we tend to forget that. I didn't want that for us. So when having moments to myself and quiet time to myself and those middle of the night moments is where it was given to me in my spirit to teach on detaching and then attaching and then realigning. But that was all I got, was detach, attach, and realign. The whole DAR situation didn't even come into place in that same moment. But then as the days kept going by, I had this message months ago. It was already laid out. It was already put together. And as time kept going by, it was DAR. I was like, DAR? That has a good ring to it. But then as I was sharing it with you, Melissa, and I was telling you exactly what I wanted to speak on, but I didn't break anything down, you said, DAR. You was like, hey, Sister DAR. And I was like,
that's it.
I mean, immediately that it was the piece of the puzzle that was missing. I had the layout. I had what I wanted to speak on, what I wanted to say, but that detach, attach, and realign in the acronyms DAR, DAR. But when you said sister, I'm like, that's it.
Mhm.
So that's where the sister came in at, because I feel like every sister is a DAR. Every sister needs to know how to detach, attach, and realign. Every sister, not just me, not just you, but every mom, every grandmom, every aunt, every cousin, anybody that you know that's female need to learn, and males too. But because this was a women's brunch and we are focused on us and ourselves, because we need to, you see how we do. I had to bring the males too, always thinking of somebody else. But we have to think about ourselves and what we need so that we can be healthy women, so that we can be productive women. And so in order to do that, there are some things that we have to leave in the past. We have to detach from it. We have to leave it behind because it no longer serves us. And then like Miss Bertha said, we have to learn how to attach to things that do serve us. What serves us? What makes us better? What adds to our lives? Because anything that's in your life should be adding to it. It shouldn't just be people just making withdrawals, but it should be some deposits, So if everybody in your life is just taken from you and withdrawn from you, but nobody is depositing to your life, you need to detach from that and attach to the people who are making deposits in your life. And then we miss, our destiny, like the things that we love and enjoy, and it has fallen by the wayside. So we have to realign ourselves back to that thing that we love, that we enjoy, our passion. And like I said, the passion, the purpose, we are the purpose. I heard that from what is her name? Wait a minute. What is her name? Sarah Jakes. I heard her say that, I am purpose. Like purpose is me. And so we have to realign ourselves back to purpose, which is us. We are purpose. We don't have to go out looking for it. We ain't got to go find it, searching for it, begging for it, nor pleading for it. We are purpose. And what is that thing that, oh my gosh, like I said, in your sleep, it makes you happy. In your sleep, you can do it. You ain't even got to wake up to write your book. You can do it in your sleep. You ain't even got to wake up to do that thing that gives you that, oh my gosh, I love it. Like cooking, doing hair, making clothes, being creative, whatever it is, realign yourself back to that thing that you can do in your sleep. That thing that you can do without somebody even having to coach you. It's in you. It's your gift. Realign back to your gift. And so that was the takeaway for Sister DAR. So every woman, it didn't just, when they was there, it went with them. It stayed with them the next day and the day after that, because people are still talking about Sister DAR. It is a movement, just like Miss Bertha said. It wasn't just a performance, but it is a movement.
Without question. Without question. Yeah. As you were speaking, Monica, I was just thinking, when you got to the point that you made yourself a priority, and you did that by journaling, letting your thoughts flow freely, you could find things in your own world. And when you made yourself a priority, you included yourself in the equation of life. You wanted it. You wanted it. And you did these things to improve yourself. The interesting, and not even interesting, but more than that, it's powerful how you can share your story and people can identify enough with it to follow these things. Just open yourself up to what you might or might not like. Write it down. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, but it does provide some clarity. It really does. And it stops the thoughts from racing all over the place about what's going on in your life, what impacts you, what's holding you back, what's holding you down. Get it off of your mind, get it off of your heart, and put it on paper. So that is an excellent thing that you did for yourself. And I encourage others to do the same thing and motivate yourself. I mean, sometimes nobody is around to encourage you. You got to encourage yourself.
Wow.
You know, and some of the things that you're talking about gives other women ideas of what to try to get started. How do I do this? How do I encourage myself? You know, I can get over this. I can get over this fear, because on the other side of fear is exactly what you want. You just got to walk through it.
My.
How you walk through fear, you got to get beyond in order to get beyond. That's what I mean. You know, and you have the support that you need, even if you're encouraging yourself by yourself.
Wow.
Make yourself a priority. And, you know, making yourself a priority isn't a selfish thing. As we talk about it, it is not a selfish thing. What we're talking about is your whole self. Okay, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, and your spiritual growth makes the whole person. That's what you're talking about. You are telling folks how to get there.
Yes. This one of the things, again, if you are watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and or even listening to the recording after, you are watching two powerful ladies, Monica and Miss Bertha. They're from two different brands. Monica is from I Am That Monica, CEO of that brand. And Miss Bertha is from her own brand, which is Agent of Change. That's her practice. Miss Bertha comes from a different background where she's focusing on mental health. And to be honest with you, and I want to tap into that, because when I heard Monica said, Melissa, I'm going to engage and bring in a person that's going to speak on mental health, we didn't even remember that May is Mental Health Month. Monica said, I didn't even think about it, but it was in alignment. It was meant for the brunch to have someone in the month of Mental Health Month to bring forth, because guess what happened? When Sista DAR was birthed, all hell also broke loose.
Come on here.
Why? Because all the stuff that's all in you around you won't detach. You ain't gonna want to detach from the anger. You don't want to go and detach from the pain. You don't want to detach from the selfishness and the lack thereof. You don't want to detach, and you don't want to attach, even though you want to, but it fights for you to attach to purpose. It fights for you to attach to love. It fights for you to attach to hope. It fights for you to attach to what God has intended for you to do. And it also is a fight to realign. So when that happened, when Sista DAR was birthed, all hell also can break loose. Because DAR can't happen if you don't happen. Mental well-being. And when I love, and I really want to dive into this, because I remember sitting there and after Miss Bertha spoke, I asked everybody to repeat the statement, because I thought that was so powerful how she aligned these three things: problem, uncomfortable, and my life. So I put in my problem. It's my uncomfortable. It's my problem. It's uncomfortable, but it's my life. And you said something else with it.
Well, I picture it like three large circles. You got a circle right here on the left, and then you got a circle here in the middle that overlaps the left a little bit, and then a circle on the right that overlaps the middle just a little bit. And really what it represents, circle number one, all the problems and the issues and the guilt and the shame and everything that holds you down and prevents you from moving forward. But once you're able to identify some of that stuff, then you can move into this middle circle. That's the uncomfortable space. That's where you learn to grow. That is where you feel what you feel, and it is going to hurt at first, you know, but you can live life through it and with it. Some of these things in the uncomfortable space, you know, you can't exactly make them go away, but you can learn how to cope with them. You can learn how to deal with them. You can learn what to do when you're triggered by them. You know, it is important for us to remember as we go through this process in the uncomfortable space that everything is connected. The way you think is connected to your feelings, is connected to the way that you respond. In this uncomfortable space, you learn how to deal with that so you can move over to the final circle, which is navigating life through it and with it. That's the final circle, you know. So in the uncomfortable space, again, is growth. It's growth. I'm listening to Miss Monica's story, and it's a rich story. It's motivating. It's with heartache and just breakdown to build yourself up again. You know, what we have to remember is that we all got to go through our go through. Our walk isn't easy. It's not going to be easy at all, really, but you do need support. You do need to be able to help yourself. What Miss Monica said is she just learned how to do this. Do what comes good. Do what was it that you said, Miss Monica? You said rely on going back to your gift.
To your gift, yes.
That's what you
realign. Yes.
Go back to your gift. Take some time for self-exploration. Sit down, meditate, get some sun. You know, we all vitamin D deficient. Get some sun. You know, I know I need to get some sun. Go for a walk. Take a hot shower. Use a loofah glove when you do to wake up your skin. Smell good. You know, do this for yourself. Know what your worth is. Feed into you. That's what she was saying by get back to your gift. Feed into you. That's how you know what you like and what you don't like. That's how you set limits and boundaries. You know, when you get back to you and your gift is you have a right to be included in the equation of life.
I love that.
That part.
I love
the
that.
right to be included.
The right to be included in your, you know what? I shared
life. Yes, ma'am.
In the equation of your life, I shared how I at 7 years old, I was molested by a family member. That family member took advantage of me from age 7 all the way into my late teens, right? So, amongst others in between. But this particular person did it. He was the one who did it for years and years. So I was programmed to feel his touch. I was programmed to want what he had to give me. I was programmed to it, right? So I didn't know how to not want it. I didn't know how to say no to it because I was programmed from 7 years old all the way to my late teens, right? And I did not know that what was happening was something that shouldn't have been happening. I didn't know it, but I knew it, if that makes sense. I knew something wasn't right, something didn't feel right, but at 7, what do you know? Right? What do you know? Then you're 8 and it's still happening. You're 10 and it's still happening. You're 12 and it's still happening from the same person. But now other people are in the mix. Other people are now doing what that person is doing. So it has become common knowledge to me, right? This is what you do. And because all these people were older men, when that's why I became a mom at 15, because something had opened in me, right? At 7 years old, that could not close. It kept opening, and it kept opening to men, not boys. Because see, boys wasn't enough. I couldn't tolerate a boy. I needed a man, because a man was the first person to touch me. So I needed men to keep touching me, to feel complete, right? To feel validated, to feel like I mattered, or to feel like I was enough, right? And so from 7 years old, and I shared this from 7 years old all the way up until I was 1 month away from turning 50. So for 43 years, 43 years, I operated from a place of trauma, and I never knew it. I thought the way I was just the way I was. That's just how it is. That's just who I am. But I didn't know that I was they were trauma responses. 43 years of responding to people from my trauma. 43, that's my entire life. From the day he touched me, from the day he violated me, from the day he took my childhood and my innocence away, from that very moment, my life changed, and the trajectory of my life belonged to him. And every other person who did what he did. And so I operated from that place and did not know that I was. Until February the 18th, 2022, God got me in a place. I was driving. And God, it's like he snatched me up because I thought I was healed. My life, I was healed. Why? Because I was talking about my trauma. I wrote a book about my trauma. I'm healed. So I wasn't the problem. Everybody else was the problem, right? And I told God, I said, God, I'm ready to turn 50. I do not want to turn 50 dealing with no foolishness, dealing with no craziness. Because when I turn 50, it's going to be a whole new me. I didn't realize that I was the foolishness, that the foolishness was me. And so he said, oh, you don't want to turn 50 with foolishness? You don't? Okay, here you go. Foolishness is you. And when I told you, and not foolishness is me in a negative way, but it was like, you think that you are something that you're not. You are not healed at all. You have been dealing with trauma from 7 years old up until today, that moment. Trauma responses, hurting people, bleeding on people, just snapping at people, being nasty to people, being mean to people, just doing things to people. Even if you get a compliment, I couldn't even take a compliment right. I didn't even know what love really was. I had somebody in my life who we all know who she is and loving me, but I just projected all of the trauma onto her because I didn't know what love really meant or felt like, not even from my own parents. I never knew what love really was. So how did I know what the person was giving me was really love? So I rejected it and I fought against it all of the time with every single person in my life. And I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about family. Oh, I was a good person. I was a sweet person. I was a person you can count on and lean on and depend on. I was there for you and in your corner, but say something I ain't like. Try to check me on something if you want to. I had to protect myself, but it was called trauma responses. These people wasn't doing anything to me, but you reminded me of the person that did.
Exactly.
Wow.
So since you reminded me of the trauma, you were a trigger. People were triggers. Everything was a trigger. And so I responded from the trauma for 43 years.
Wow.
And so when God got me to myself, I had the ugly cry, the snot, the tear. I don't even know how I even drove. I had to call people and apologize. I'm so sorry for the things I said and for what I did and how I hurt you. I didn't mean that. I was really like apologetic. And the people that I hurt knew that wasn't me, but I didn't know how to fix that. I didn't know how to change that. But ever since February 18, 2022, I have been on not healed, but I've been on a healing journey. So every day I am moving forward to being better, to being, like my shirt said, I put it on again. I am more than good enough. Every day I am moving forward to that place. I'm moving forward to my healing. I'm moving forward to being better, no longer being triggered by those things that hurt me and harm me and cause me pain. Doesn't mean that they don't attack me. Of course they come up. Of course they come at me. Of course the triggers happen. But now that I know what they are, I no longer allow it to consume me. I no longer allow it to control me. I am the captain of this ship, not the trauma anymore.
My.
So that's where I'm at now. I'm in that circle of living, that circle of life. And that's why I am that Monica. What Monica are you? Where do, when I speak about things, where do you find yourself? Where do you see yourself? Were you there? Are you there? Do you know someone who's there? Because it ain't just about you. Maybe you have a sister that confided in you about Monica.
That's right.
Or a mom, or a grandmom, or somebody. Because remember, growing up, we was told what happens in this house stays in this house. It was a lot of covering up back in the day. It was a lot of sweeping things under the rug back in the day.
That's right.
It was a lot of shh, don't say nothing back in the day. So I learned how to lie early. I learned how to keep secrets early. I learned how to protect perpetrators early. I learned how to stay with people who hurt me early, who disappointed me. I learned that early.
Wow. It's so amazing. Again, if you're watching live, thank you for watching us live. And as you listen into the recording again, you're listening to Live with Melissa Lambert, but we have two special guests, Monica of I Am That Monica, Miss Bertha of Agent of Change. And these two ladies were on a platform. Monica hosted an event with her brand, I Am That Monica, and it was a brunch that was called I Am More Than Good Enough. And at that event, she had Miss Bertha that came in and dealt with the inner girl, the inner child, the mindset of us, because that's her specialty. Miss Bertha is in the mental health department, and our goal is to help us to get up out of this head. And she talked about the three circles: the problem circle, the uncomfortable circle, and the my life circle. And she was able to bring that to in front of us. And when Miss Bertha was done, Monica came up and she introduced someone very special to us. She introduced Sista DAR. Sista DAR. What is Sista DAR? She said Sista DAR was to detach, attach, and realign to ourselves. Monica just shared her story, her story that brought her to this moment where we can have this conversation and let it all out. So I thank you, Monica, for your ability to express what you is when you're healing through something, you can share like this. Bertha, you have seen clients over time go through their own phases. You have seen many of the Sista DARs in your.
I sure have.
Many of the brother DARs in your office in some way or form. Now hearing the story of how Monica has now unfold her truth and is living her truth by creating a brand. I am that Monica, because there's many Monicas out here. I am Sista DAR that's ready to detach, attach, and realign. Miss Bertha, put 2 and 2 together for us as a mental health specialist that knows what it takes. There's somebody that's watching that wants to know how to detach, how to attach, how to realign, how to be a Monica, be open to share my truth, how to let go, how to let this problem no longer serve me, how to live in the uncomfortable circle, but also how to really say it's my life. Can you just bring it together for us, please?
I will try. So I'm a clinical therapist, and I've been in private practice for 15 years. And so, yes, I have seen hundreds of Monicas. What she spoke about first is very powerful in recognizing, in her case, in many cases, you were groomed to be that way. You didn't choose it. You were groomed to be that way, you know, and I cannot imagine the struggle in her life. A lot of women who have been through sexual trauma, you know, become promiscuous as they get older, don't care about themselves. Their joy comes from, their satisfaction comes from sacrificing everything that's good about them for somebody else's gain. You know, that is, that's a horrible, horrible space to be in. But it's hard to know. I think Miss Monica said she was well into her 40s. It's hard to know that what you're experiencing is not what you're supposed to experience. When you never felt any emotions but fear and sadness or emptiness, when you could never be right, when all of those things attack you, when that inner critic that consists of all those voices speaks louder than your own, it's hard to get through. Ms. Monica was in her 40s. That don't mean it's too late. You fight. I mean, you kick it in with 2 feet. You fight. Fight. You are important enough. You are more than good enough to fight for yourself. Pour into you what you pour into somebody else. You know, Miss Monica spoke about triggers, even when you're on your way to wellness. Well, understand, they may not go away. You may be triggered and it changes the way you think and it makes you feel something or another. And then you know, respond aggressively and impulsively. That may not go away for a while. You need to know how to deal with it, though, when it happens. If you're triggered, you got to have something in place. This is a journey, though, but you got to have something in place that will help you to control what you're thinking about this and control and balance those emotions so that your reaction to it is logical, it's clear, it's keeping you safe, it's making a difference. You know, it's not putting you at risk. This is what you got. These are the steps that she's talking about. She went through. She was triggered and she thought the worst. But it was memories of pieces of her trauma. Understand, when you've been traumatized and you think you're living through it, or you are living through it, but you think you're recovering from it, and you hear the trigger, it's like a vacuum that takes you back to a certain feeling, or it takes you back to a certain place, you know, a smell or something. It's difficult to get away from that, but understand you can. Understand that you can. It can't hurt you no more. You are better now. You can think clearly now. You know what you need is important. What you feel and what you think should be validated. It means something. Don't let nobody tell you you ain't important, what you think ain't important, and that it doesn't matter. Say it who? Yes, it does matter. Yes, it does matter. You know what? God gave us one life. Just one. I don't think you get do-overs. I don't think so. What you gonna do with your one life? But don't get me wrong, it's important to give, and you know, it's important to do all of those things that we do through a healthy life, but that always includes us. Feed into you. Okay, if you need support from a clinical therapist or a counselor or a friend, get that. You're supposed to have it. It's your right to have it. It's yours. Now, I'm not saying put yourself in an unsafe place to reach these goals. Let me be clear. But do start thinking about you are important and what you deserve, and help and support is available for you. You do not have to travel this journey alone. But what you do need is something that's tailored for you to help you as an individual move forward. Because what Miss Monica is doing may not work for you. It may not work for your friend or your sister or even your mom. What they may have experienced is something like Miss Monica experienced, or something else that manifested and grew into even something else, anxiety, depression. You know, and so you need support in addressing all of these things, and it's okay. You are not by yourself. You're not alone. You are not alone. We have gone through our go through, all of us, some so much worse than others. But you can get there one step at a time in your journey. And as it is said, each step is a powerful step. One step at a time. One step at a time. You might take a couple steps back, but that's okay. Find growth, find joy every day. Every day. Feed into you an affirmation into you. I have affirmation all around me for encouragement, for a reminder. For those of you that got a t-shirt, I am more than good enough. As a reminder, write it down on a piece of paper and stick it up with some stickies. I am more than good enough. Remind yourself that's yours to own.
Yes, 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 yes. Wow.
Wow.
Woo. I mean, I love this conversation because it's necessary. Monica, you mentioned something back then, even now, is a shh, don't say nothing. Keep everything quiet. Oh, you don't need no therapist. You don't need no counselor. You don't need no psychotherapist. You don't need none of that. Just calm down. Just go sit down, go write it down and bury it or burn it. No, it's time to talk about it. So I'm really proud of you, Monica, for raising up, to bringing up this platform, to giving us a voice. You gave Miss Bertha a voice, and you gave me a voice to be at this venue. And I haven't hosted in a long time. The last time I hosted anybody's platform was maybe 2017, and you gave me the opportunity to host. But you also gave me an opportunity to serve you on purpose. When God released that word that you're going to do this event in your mind mapping session, and to see on that day it come to life, it was like, wow. And then the day after, when God laid out your whole, I couldn't sleep. I literally couldn't sleep. I literally was pulled up out of my sleep and start writing down your mapping out for what's to come. We mapped out literally God laid out 3 events. And by the time I sent it to Monica, Monica said, I can't breathe. She said, what is Melissa? I said, well, what you thought, Monica? You thought I was going to come all the way from Florida, see you birth. I am that Monica. See you birth, Sista DAR, and not give you a plan of action. So we have a lot to do. Miss Bertha and I are right beside you. I heard you say, Miss Bertha said, don't leave me by. Don't leave me. Monica, what has Miss Bertha told you? What Miss Bertha said?
Miss Bertha was leaving. I don't know if you remember Miss Bertha, but she was leaving out the door, and I was hugging you, and I was like, thank you so much. And she was like, don't leave me behind, because I will come and hunt you down.
Oh, yes, I will find your address.
Right.
You know, because it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. I don't attach myself to something that I don't feel is worthy. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm saying I got to be touched. You know what I'm saying? To know that this is the right route for me to take. You and I did not even meet face to face. until your conference. And I
That
wanted
part.
to give you in
Mhm.
your energy.
Mm.
You know how you can be around someone and just know, you know, it just don't sit right. Your energy. Miss Melissa, I think you said that, your energy, you know, we need that as we support each other. We
Yes.
need that. It is a powerful thing when you
Yes.
can get together as women and understand that it is okay to talk about it because the stigmas are real.
That part. That part.
Well, you don't let that outside. It's still in this generation.
Yes, it is. It
It's
is.
still in
It
this
is.
generation. One of those things that just continues, you know.
Mm.
You got to make it okay. Now, in all fairness, and I'm so thankful for this, more people are taking the first step in coming for clinical therapy,
Good.
psychotherapy, you know, clinical counseling.
Good.
Choose whichever is best for you. So we are breaking this thing down. In my practice, I have more men coming into my practice. I have men coming in with their partner or their wife. You know what I'm saying? It is important for our men to understand how manly it really is to be in touch
Yes.
with your feelings and yourself.
Wow.
That requires some self-control.
Yeah.
That requires you never to find yourself in a place that will abuse anybody. You know what I'm saying? And so thank goodness our men are taking the steps that they need to take too. I think there were one or two at the conference, one or two. The photographer, I mean, you know, at least one, no, two. And I was glad about that. But you had a full house of women.
Yes, she did.
A full house.
Yes. Wow. So I want everybody to really know what's next for you ladies, because we're about to wrap up very soon. But again, thank you all for watching. You're live here with Melissa Lambert, and we have two amazing ladies from their own brand, their own business, their own community. You know, Miss Bertha she's the CEO of Agent of Change. Then Sister Miss Monica is the CEO of I Am That Monica, that released a great brunch this past weekend that introduced Sista DAR, detach, attach, and realign. And we're able to join this platform, the I Am That Monica platform. So Monica, can you tell the world, we discussed together as your business coach, I said, listen, Monica, it's time to move. Monica said, oh God, Melissa, yes, it's time to move. And we discussed some stuff, Monica. I want the world to know what's to come, because like I'm shaking right now because it's so good. What's to come is something great. We have 3 events that's ready to roll out, 1 this year and 2 next year. So I'm gonna give you the platform to kind of talk to us about what's to come for I Am That Monica. Then I want Miss Bertha to come and tell us what's next for Agent of Change. So once Monica, you're completed sharing us about what's next for I Am That Monica, I want Miss Bertha to come back and tell us what's next for Agent of Change. So Monica, take it away.
Well, at the event, I thought this was going to be a yearly event, and I was so okay with that. I really was. And when I shared that, the looks and the stares were like, what? We got to wait till next year? No, no, no. We can't. Do you know what we are going through as women? We cannot wait for a whole nother year, you know? And I said, well, I was already prepared to do something like next, May. They said you got to do this monthly, quarterly, something, but it can't be next year, And so I shared that with Melissa, of course, but she was already in her fast forward mind way of thinking anyhow, and wasn't even with me waiting for a whole nother year anyway. So we are going to have another women's brunch in October. I want to say the date is October the 19th. If that's a Saturday, I can't remember actually, but in October, we will be having another women's brunch. It's going to be on a whole nother level. The theme of that brunch, so get ready. The theme is the wait is over. And wait is WEIGHT. So prepare your hearts and minds for that. Then we are going to do, correct me if I'm wrong, a women's marathon.
Correct.
Then the plan is to do a women's retreat in Jamaica next October.
That
So
part.
those are the 3 things that we have planned so far. So I Am That Monica, Sista DAR, I Am More Than Good Enough is a movement, not just words that were spoken, not just a performance, but a movement.
Exactly.
So get ready.
Just get ready, y'all. Listen, I'm shaking. I'm shaking.
That's exciting.
When I tell you, as I sat on her lay on the bed, and I had to wait because I don't normally sleep much, and Juanita would say, "Do you ever sleep?" I do my best, but when it hits me, I have to let it out. So I'm there writing, and I said to God, this is gonna scare Monica. He said, keep on writing. I said, okay. And he said, it's going to, I said, oh, I started looking and said, this is going to really scare Monica. He said, keep on writing. And I'm like, writing. Then I waited until 9:00, y'all, because it was already, I started writing at 6:30 in the morning. So by the time I finished, I said, God, I can't send this to her at 7:30. I can't send it.
But you did.
Did I send it at 8 o'clock? I did.
I woke up to it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I was like, oh.
7 pages long. Yeah.
Oh, this is too much. Oh. Because again, I'm still processing through my traumas and through my stuff that I am more than good enough, and that I can do it, and that I am capable, and that I am competent, and that I too deserve it. So I'm still working through that. So when things come at me that seems impossible for me, or seems like, oh no, that's not for me, that's for somebody else better than me, you know, I have to work through my stuff. So when she sent me those 45 pages, I was like, wait a minute, no, that is too, you know, because I have to believe in me before I expect somebody else to.
Come on. But the greatest thing about this, right? And that's why I tell people, whenever you do a mind mapping session with me, Monica, they must be ready. Because once we come into that space and I decrease for God to increase in me, it's over. And you have to understand, whenever you enter that space, it's moving time. So I remember after I talked to Monica about this, God said, this is what you need to do. And, you know, I reminded her in January, she was trying to put it to like, I don't think I can do it. I said, I just listened to her say what she had to say. And I said, you done? She said, done about what? I said, well, it's time to move. I said, well, I don't care what you just said about all that other stuff. We got to get this thing done. Get you a team. The next day she had a team, dream team. The next day she had the event book. I mean, it was just like boom, boom, boom. So I said to Juanita in March, I saw something. I saw a glimpse of Monica. And I said, Juanita, I can't tell her what I see. It's going to overload her. I'm going to let her wait. And when we got closer to the date, I felt it. I transcend into the room and saw the room. And I said, wow, God. And when I actually stood in the room on that Saturday, Miss Monica did not rehearse with me. Neither did Miss Bertha rehearse with me or Monica. We did not rehearse. I met Miss Bertha in the parking lot and gave her a hug, and something released. And I said, did you feel that, Miss Bertha? She said, yes, I did. We released in the spirit. And we connected. The minute we started, the Spirit of God said, keep on, tell them who Sista DAR is. Tell them, keep on giving them, hey, Sista DAR. They were saying, hey, Sista DAR before Monica came up. I was releasing it into their spirit. Sister Dar, Sister Dar. Tell your neighbor, hey, Sister Dar. We Sister Dar, hey, Sister Dar. And we kept on saying it. So they can grab a hold of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when they received it through Monica releasing it, I saw her birth. I saw this butterfly that took off, like literally broke out of its cocoon and birthed into something great. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, the Spirit of God said, she's ready. I said, ooh. He said it again, she's ready. I said, wow. So while we was at the next event, they was like, Melissa, you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And they didn't know I was typing up. I was going because God was downloading the next Monica, what needs to come forth. And he was downloading. I'm sitting there in the car and I'm literally taking notes of what God was downloading for Monica. And then when I woke up and I finished up everything, I said, wow. I literally looked at her plan and I was like, wow, what's to come for this woman? We said triple the room for October. Then we say a move then I saw the walk. This walk of people having their banner up, the detaching banner, the attaching banner, the realigning banner, the movement, the shirts that says, I'm Sister Dar. The shirt that says, I am Sister Dar. I have detached, I have attached, and I have realigned myself to my purpose. Mm-hmm. When I saw us now, we went to church, and while we're in church, God gave me the last part of the puzzle. He said, not only will you go to Jamaica, you will realign to an organization in that country. So I turned to Monica. I said, Monica, I got it. She looked at me like, oh, God. She said, oh, God, we in church. How you going to get something in church? Like,
I'm supposed to.
I texted to her. She was like, oh, God, Melissa. I said, yes, this is the last piece of the puzzle. It had to come together. So it's a joy to be able to grace the platform with you two ladies, because what's to come? Ooh. Even just talking to and seeing Miss Bertha for the second time, I can't wait to map you out. Because yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how this mind goes. By just looking at you and just hearing you speak, I know exactly what needs to move.
Well, that's a good thing. I appreciate that. Make sure you let me know what I have to do. But let me say this, Miss Monica, I am thankful for you. I really am. It's been I don't know how long before I've met someone that's willing to do what you're doing, and it is energized. It is going. Do not stop. Don't let nobody else step in your way either. Don't let anybody step in your way. I really appreciate you have Miss Melissa, because she ain't playing with you.
She ain't playing with me.
She ain't playing with you. And so you're going to move forward like you are supposed to move forward. And it was okay. So, I just got to say, I try to be a humble servant, but I recognize that I am still under God's construction. And when Miss Melissa asked what's in store for me, I don't know. I'm just taking one step at a time, and I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to do. I see people in my practice, and I teach them how to help themselves. That's my job. Help someone to be able to help themselves through their mental health challenges. Rather, I've diagnosed someone, or someone comes in just because they're having struggles with the circumstances of life. The purpose is to get someplace where Miss Monica is, so that you can navigate life with it, but you still navigate life. You still move forward. It's not in the front leading anymore, you know. So that's what I teach in my practice. I do things like mental health training at organizations, at churches. Churches are taking a pitiful, it's pivotal. It's very pivotal, understanding that, you know, faith and mental health, it's okay to mention both at the same time.
Same time.
They both exist. You know, they both exist. We walk with whatever level of faith we have everywhere we go. And you walk with your mental health and its condition everywhere you go. You know, so I think having faith allows us to seek the counsel that we need. That's what I believe. You know, it allows you to seek the type of counsel that you need. So that is what I do, working with individuals, working with families, working with couples, working with groups, working with communities, you know.
Well, I'm excited. I I can't wait to map Miss Bertha out, because there is the greater call upon your life is so amazing, and you haven't seen nothing yet. I feel like you're about to step into Monica. You're about, Miss Bertha, I want you to grab a hold of this.
Okay.
This season of your life is going to be the best ride of your life. I need you to write it somewhere down, and I want you to
wait a minute.
This season,
Okay, I'm always writing stuff down. Say it one more time.
This season of my life, make it personable, will be the best ride of my life. Why? When you say, for instance, you're driving from here, from where you are in Maryland to New Jersey, and you have done that ride maybe 3 times. On the 4th time, guess what? You got used to the roads. You don't have to use the GPS anymore.
Right.
This time, this part of your life, you don't need the GPS because you already got the instruction. This part of your life, the GPS is already structured. It's been laid out. The structure was built out. But what happened for you, Miss Bertha, is the construction was just there, but there was no one helping to build the structure so it can stand. So you got to meet a Monica that will connect you to the person that will help you structure the foundation.
That is the truth.
For now, for it to stand.
That's how it happened. That is exactly the way.
You know one thing about Monica, I'm going to say this. I have to release this. Monica, one of the things I want you to remember who you are the connector. From Monica conversation, it brought 4 other ladies to the table. From the 4 ladies to the table, it took 3 out of that table. From the 3 people out of the table, Monica, Juanica, Sharon, all 3 people that came back to my table to do mind mapping. Because of you, Monica, 2 people was birthed. A book was birthed in Sharon in less than 30 days. A radio was birthed in Sharon in less than 30 days. She's featured on iHeartRadio. She's featured on Apple Radio. Sharon is featured on Blog Talk Radio. She has her book. In under 30 days, that was established because of your connection, Monica. Because of your connection, Juanica was birthed into her purpose. I am integrity. Look at where she is today. And now from your connection, Miss Bertha will be birthed. You are the connection, Monica, to so many. And I pray that 14 ladies that wrote down, those 14 ladies that wrote from that thing that they wanted a part of me to map them out. I pray they understand the magnitude of what they did. Someone, I met with one of them and it was like, oh my gosh, you scared with me. But understand something. Passion must meet purpose. Purpose must meet power. And power will push you into profit. Those are the 4 people. If you can't find, if you don't know your passion, you can't move on purpose. When you find passion and purpose, there will be power. Once power is now, what happened on that Saturday with I Am That Monica, power found Monica. Why? She came in the room with passion and purpose. She left the room with passion, purpose, and power. Now, 3 events now mapped out later, profit will come. So when I say to people, Monica always say to me, Melissa, girl, you undermine yourself with your price. And now Monica knows I don't do anything for money. I do it for the glory of God to be revealed. Why? Miss Bertha must live out her God-given purpose, but she's missing a piece of the puzzle. That's why God will send somebody to say, help my daughter because she needs to move along quick. Monica will say, you were prayer answered. Why? God hears your prayer and he hears your heart desire. So when you are there praying in your room, your destiny helper is out there waiting for you. So call your destiny helper forth. I am Miss Bertha's destiny helper. I am Monica's destiny helper. Monica is Miss Bertha's destiny helper. Miss Bertha is Miss Monica's destiny helper. We are all each other's destiny helper to help us launch us into our own destiny. The connection has to happen. Monica, you are the connector. So thank you for connecting us all.
Absolutely.
Last words, Monica. Last words, Miss Bertha. We're going to close this in because this is getting, whew.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the only thing that I have to say is I want to remind all of my sister DARs to remind yourself that when you are in situations that make you uncomfortable, detach. And then find somewhere to attach yourself to something that brings you forth and something that serves you and make you feel good about yourself and make you want to move forward in life. Attach yourself to that. Once you detach from the things that don't serve you. And then once you do that, realign back to, again, your gift, your talents, your purpose, that thing that you can do in your sleep. Realign yourself back to that. And then once you do all of the detaching, attaching, and realigning, say to yourself, I am more than good enough.
All right.
My. Okay, come on now. Ooh, come on, Miss Bertha, bring it home for us.
Remember, always include yourself in the equation of life. Always do that. Walk in your authority to include yourself in the equation of life. It is okay to say what's been troubling you. It is okay to get the tools that you need and be strengthened. It is okay to travel life, own life. Remember your circles. We all got these problems over here that are just floating around. Allow yourself to identify these problems and move to the uncomfortable space of growth. Right there is the uncomfortable space of receiving and attaching yourself to something good. It's uncomfortable to do that when you've never done it before. It's uncomfortable to lose all that held you down. It is uncomfortable. But once you learn how to challenge this thing and be able to cope with this thing, you move to the outer circle, and that is navigating life through it. You got a little bit for yourself. Feed you. Feed you. We were just talking earlier about having only one life. We only got one. And it is okay to be under construction. Ain't nobody perfect.
Nope.
It is okay to be under construction. It is okay to say I was wrong. You stand accountable. Stand accountable, you know, so that you are able to move forward. Use your voice. It's okay to speak. It's okay to want somebody to validate your thoughts and your feelings. And you do the same. That doesn't mean you agree with everything they're saying. It just means I heard you. Basically, I heard you. I see what you're saying, but I feel differently. That's okay. It is okay for you to own your own thoughts, own your own feelings. Nobody owns that. Nobody owns that. That's yours. Move in your authority and get your support wherever it's at. Get your support. Move through your journey. Find some joy. Hold on to it every day. Find some joy. When you wake up in the morning and you realize you've taken your first breath, that's when you've been given the opportunity to live today better than you did yesterday.
Yes.
Walk in your faith every day. Allow yourself to breathe, as they say. Inhale what you need and exhale what you don't every day. Every day. Learn how to do that for yourself. And consistency. Consistently feed yourself. Consistently. Every day that you realize you've taken your breath. Feed. Motivate yourself in the morning before you step foot out of that bedroom door. Feed you so you're right for what's on the other side of the door. Start your day off right. And if you need to step away for a few minutes, make yourself a priority and go over there and breathe. Eat lunch. Walk around. Move away from your desk. Save you. Hold on to you. Protect you. In order to get to I am more than good enough. And when Miss Monica says reset, she says realign it. That's navigating.
Yes.
That's how you navigate. You reset things, okay? Sometimes our foundation is not strong. You have to move away from that space. If you need to move away from that space and recreate a foundation, that of which you stand on, do it. Go ahead and do it. It's okay. Step number 1, or whatever step you want to call it, let yourself believe and understand it is okay. It's okay. It's okay to move forward for me.
Yes.
I have sacrificed all that I've gained for somebody else's good. What about mine? What about mine? It is okay. You're allowed to move forward. You're expected to live life. That's what you got it for.
Yes.
Make it okay for you. Deal with the anxiety. If you know it's there, if you're worrying all the time, your thoughts are racing all the time, you overthink things like this little thing happened and you do the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and I almost, and if they said this, and none of that even happened. You only started right here. Pay attention to that. Do you procrastinate? Pay attention to that. Do you get extremely nervous and worry and your feelings are all over the place for reasons that it shouldn't be? Does that kind of feeling come on you and you don't know why? And sometimes it comes with situations where your emotions are pulled to this extent. Is your body reacting to this? Do you wring your hands a lot? Do you shake your leg a lot? Do you scratch? Do you rock? Do you pull your hair? Do you fidget? Is your stomach feeling like a roller coaster when you wake up in the morning? Now, Miss Melissa, you know how to use that energy when your mind is racing in the night. You got your notepad and the ink pen next to the nightstand. And so you write all of that stuff out. But otherwise, it can be distracting. It can be disturbing. It can stop you. It can stop you from going to work. It can stop you from functioning throughout the day. It can stop you from believing all that's good can happen to you because you worry and you fear about this and this and this and this. And then there is the depression, that sadness. I mean, deep sadness that leaves you isolated in your room, that makes you feel worthless, that makes you feel helpless, that makes you feel hopeless, that makes you cry. Those things.
Mm-hmm.
If you're experiencing trauma,
Mm-hmm.
where you're triggered,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you're reliving things, or you're hyper vigilant and you're trying to avoid things. You have bad dreams that keep you up. You know, these kind of things. Make sure you get the support of a mental health professional, somebody that's not going to judge you, somebody that is certified to do what it is that they do, licensed and certified to do what it is that they're doing. So they can help and support you to walk through your journey, teach you how to walk through your journey, allow you to be open to coping skills and strategies and use it. If it's not right for you, tweak it just a little bit so that it's tailored specifically for you. Again, we can all be in the same place, but we're not in the same space of life. We walk as individuals, you know. We need somebody to help us to tailor this for us. And thank you, Miss Monica. Again, this is a blessing for me. I feel energized. I do. I feel energized. And a lot of times, you know, we don't. We feel burdened by what we're doing. What was it that you said about burdens? You said something about burdens. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. But you were thinking about how heavy our burdens can be, but recognize too that it can be lifted.
Yes.
It can be lifted. It can be lighter than what it is.
Yes.
It is okay for you to want that.
Yes.
You might be in the midst of somebody telling you that you ain't and you can't, and you will never, because you ain't, can't. But yes, you can, and yes, you are, and yes, you are. Yes, you are. Who told you you ain't? Yes, you are. You are more than good enough. Who told you you weren't?
That's part.
I understand when you're in a situation like that, you can't help but to believe it about yourself. Sometimes when you're in the deep trenches, you don't see your way getting out. And I recognize that saying this is easy to say, but I am not going to be dishonest with you. Your journey might take a while, but it's yours.
It's yours. It's yours.
It will take the time that it takes. I'll put it that way, because the road is different for everybody. So take the time that it takes, but commit to yourself and commit to being better. Commit to your mental health being well. As I said earlier, you know, when I say make yourself a priority, it's not a selfish thing. I am talking about addressing your whole self. That is your mental well-being, your physical health, and make sure that you are spiritually fed. Then you have made yourself a priority, your whole self a priority, and fight the fight. We already know there are sisters out there that will support you, that will support you. And if they can't, it's okay. Find somebody. Find somebody. Start with your doctor if you want to. Start there. You know, talk to your sister if you want to, and your good friend, the best friend, the one that's supportive of you and allows you to support her, the one that's going to feed you and not tear you down. Tell her your story. She may be able to get some help for you, and you ain't got to let it all out, but enough for her to understand. We need to help you out. That is support right there. Support for your sister. Get support if you need the support. It's okay. It's okay. Tear down these stigmas. It's okay. Make sure for yourself before you do that for yourself. And I'm talking to myself too.
That's right. That part.
Every good therapist has a therapist, to tell you the truth. It is okay. It is okay to admit not everything is perfect. It is okay to say, I don't know how to do this. I need some help learning how to do this. It is okay to say, I'm too hurt. I need to deal with my hurt first. Okay. Then let's deal with your hurt first. What are you hurting from? Identify it.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes to us at different times. It is okay. But remember, once you identify it, I'm moving you to challenging it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're working on skills and techniques and strategies and coping skills so you can move through.
That part. Wow. Ladies, you guys have dropped a lot of nuggets here, but I need you ladies to, Monica, tell us your link. Ms. Bertha, tell us your link so they can follow you right after. So Monica, I know that IamThatMonica.com does exist. So come on, tell us where we can find you. And then after you share that, Ms. Bertha will share also her links. Drop your links so they can know how to reconnect with you. So go ahead, Monica.
I am on Facebook as Monica Williams. You can reach me on my website at IamThatMonica.com. You can email me at info@IamThatMonica.com. Those are ways that you can connect with me.
IamThatMonica.com. IamThatMonica.com will have all her details on there, y'all.
Yes.
Follow her on Facebook and go to her IamThatMonica.com. Ms. Bertha, you can tell us where we can connect back with you on social media, any website, any email. Go ahead, Ms. Bertha.
Absolutely. I can be reached on Facebook at Bertha Dandridge White. I can be reached by my website, which is www.agentofchangeservices.com. That's agentofchangeservices.com. Or you can email me at agentofchange@verizon.net. That is agentofchange@verizon.net. I am so looking forward to serving whomever it is that I'm supposed to serve. So reach out.
Wow. And we had some comments. I want to kind of make sure I identify some of these comments that was coming in. We had some evangelists. Sylvia said, "Sister, you have me in tears." We have Juanica Ballard, CEO and visionary of I Am Integrity. "You only get one life. What you gonna do with it?" She quoted Miss Bertha. And I saw some, okay, she said, "Miss Bertha, it's happening. Get ready." Oh, now Miss Bertha about to get ready, Juanica. And then Sweet Terry is Sharon. She says, "She talking right. Hey, Sister DAR." You know, and then Juanica came back and said, "Mrs. Bertha is dropping gems." So, I mean, thank you all, ladies. You have done well. I look forward to this journey. I look forward to seeing where Miss Bertha is going to be in the next 6 months. Monica, I already know and I already see where you are going, and it is marvelous in the sight of God. And I am just honored to be a service to each and every one of you. Thank you for taking time to come on to have this conversation, to connect with these people, to begin the journey of serving on purpose. So y'all, we're about to take it out. Let me just go ahead and create this this banner to go out. Thank you again for joining us, and you all have a wonderful night. Take care.
Take care.